Hey everyone, it's an odd time, to be very honest. Life is never gonna go back to how it was before COVID 19. We're gonna learn to live with it as we are, and we are going to get better at it every day. I'm one of those people who have been affected by it, lost job, and have been struggling. Despite the fact that I am an engineer by education as well as I love what I do. I absolutely love it. You can get me to talk about it, then I will never shut up. And I love reading anything I can get my hands on. And I love poetry. I love to write. I love to paint. And I have been struggling. So I started my career as an electronics engineer. And I used to work for Intel. And then life brought me to a situation where I was no longer able to find a job in what I loved. So I went for a different job. I didn't think of liking it. It was to my surprise that I absolutely fell in love with it. I love everything about it, and I've been working in it for 10 years. Over the course of 10 years, life has given me quite a bit of material. So I jokingly say, the man upstairs he needs entertainment. So he has a bucket of popcorn, and my life is his Shakespearean drama. But I'm very thankful. I'm saying this not as a complaint, but I'm saying this based on Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. That book, along with A Russian Pilot's Journey, the story of a true man, is written by, I can never remember his name. I promise I'll Google it and then send you, but I have the version of it. These two books changed my life when I was 8. It gave me perspective. I know, 8 is it. But I grew up in India, and I was a giant nerd. I am a giant nerd. So, books were friends. Books are still friends. I paint, and it's self-taught. I don't intend on anything. I just love to express. Robert Frost has been one of the poets that I absolutely adore. He knows how to say things before you even think of it. In the same poem, you can read at different stages of your life, and then it will make different sense to you. It speaks to you. And it's one of my dreams that I want to be able to write just that can speak to people. I know. Dreams, right? Without dreams, what would we be? But the main thing is, don't let dreams be dreams. Just chase after them. That brings me to the recent question. I'm looking for jobs again. And there was a time in the past year when COVID happened, all that I was thinking, it's been 10 years. Maybe I always wanted to be a writer. And maybe it's not a bad idea. But Google scared the crap out of me. According to Google, writers don't make much living. Unless you are a blockbuster driver. Did I say writers or drivers? Anyway, blockbuster drivers, my goodness. Writers make money, but then the people that are below the 5%, according to Google, we don't make much money. And I can say that because I published a memoir, and I didn't market it. I went through a life event again, and then I just canceled all my book tours. But I will bring it back. It's not time for that yet. It's time to write about new things. So I am attending interviews. Again, when I talk about technology, I am immersed in it. I do it because it's not a job, because it's a calling. I absolutely love it. I love messing up. I love failing. I love learning. And the software and hardware industry changes so much. You have no idea. And my son, 10-year-old, we've been talking about Artemis space mission, and God, if I get a job in there, I am going full force in there. Because I grew up wanting to work for NASA. I still do. But then again, I come across my bedroom looks like a library, which is probably organized by, I don't know. If you have ever read Sherlock Holmes stories, it probably looks like that. I mean, it does have a system that I can find. It's been 6 minutes, so I don't want to prolong. And the whole point of that was to say that changing careers is not a bad thing. It doesn't make you any less. There are people who want life to be stable and all that, and I admire them because I can't do that. I think I'm a nomad. I need the adrenaline of learning a new tool, reading a new poem, and painting a new painting, or writing a new version of life. I also want to code. I also want to make workplace a bit more human. And trust me, it's not that easy. And that is part of the reason I keep thinking, because, for 10 years I've been trying something in an area that refuses to let women in. Even the ones in, we face way too many stuff. I won't call them discrimination. I would call them, when was it, in 50s, that the thought of women belong in the kitchen. Right now, it's women belong in the software industry or behind this certain line kind of thing. And yes. So I'm torn between both. I really want to be a writer, but I really want to make some kind of a change or some kind of an impact where my little girl and little girls like her, can actually cross that line. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna break this into 2 different videos because I don't want to go on you having to listen to all of this. And I just want to recite a poem which is written by Robert Frost, and it's called The Road Not Taken. I'm gonna do it here first, and then I'll record it again so that it will be a short one. I am in my crossroads right now, and one is less traveled for me. There is absolutely no success guaranteed. Well, yes. But then my whole life has been that way. I have done things that has been challenging the social norms. Maybe that is what I am, but that is what I'm good at. You can call me any name and any label, and I would say, yeah, I'm wearing a white dress with blue flowers on it. You can say that I'm wearing a red dress with blue flowers on it, but that doesn't make that true. That's my question for that. Let me say this because, like I said, I am passionate and I'm confused between 2 things. If you put me in DevOps, that's the area I work in, I love it. I love it with all my heart. I want to change things. I want to do things. I want to create things. Whether it's new way of working, or collaboration or making my colleague feel at home, welcomed. And then there is writing and painting and creative life where I have absolutely no guarantee that even I will make a living. But I can write. I can write in a way that will touch you. That I'm confident about. Will I make money or not? Not sure. So, this poem means a lot to me, and it's very empty for the praise, and then so I'm just gonna recite it. And forgive me for my accent. I call it sexy Indian accent. So I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this at this point, because we are all coming out of an inertia, forced vacation for brain, mind. I know that we are all money worried about finances, all kinds of things, but still, I have seen people have new train of thoughts that's coming out of this forced lockdown. I think by locking down our physical self, we have freed our minds. The poem is The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. So here we go. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the underground. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first one for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Pardon me for that. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere, ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So this poem has been read, studied, explained, and this poem is, to me, in 40 years it has changed its meaning so many different times, but it always comes to this. There is always a choice, there is always crossroads and split roads, and we stand there. We all have dreams, come on, all of us do. But fear of failure stops us from doing what we really want to do, don't you think so? I haven't decided, I can't, and I'm going to think. While I keep trying to find a job. And I'm going to keep reading, I'm going to keep writing, I'm going to keep painting. And I hope you do the same.